Hey everybody, welcome back into the garage and welcome back to the 300ZX Turbo project that's sitting behind me here. So the videos today, we're going to be starting to look at the seats. They're already out of the car, they're in desperate need of restoration. So we're going to start tearing those apart and get them ready to put the new leather covers on. Okay, so this is a passenger seat I have up on the table right now. So I'm going to start with. So like I said, this is it's an 86 300ZX Turbo. It's GLL model. And the seats are tired. This is a passenger one. In reality, this could have been restored, the back. Some leather dye and good cleaning. This has good the headrest. This cushion is, well, yeah, I don't think that's even stitchable. But it's the driver's one that's, yeah, I don't know what happened. I lived a hard life, so no choice but to recover them. So I've ordered a set of seat covers from a company called Rideys. So this is a 5-piece. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then these two here, 4, 5. That makes the 5-piece set. All right, so I'm gonna start taking the seat apart. Headrest off, of course, that's a simple case of pushing this button in here, and simple case, he said, as he struggles with it. There we go. So that's the headrest out of the way. That'll be a little covering project by itself. Gonna get the back off next, and it appears to just be held with 4 screws. Well, it's supposed to be 4. I've got 2 on here. No clue why. They got these little button covers on them, so I'm thinking what I'm telling you, just pop these off, and there's what I'm guessing is a Phillips head screw. There we go, and yeah, okay. So yeah, the little button cover just comes off. There's a Phillips screw here. As you can see, the state of the back. I've been experimenting with trying to fix it. It looks like somebody had cargo or something in the back, and it slammed forward into the seat and it's taking chunks out of the back here. So my sort of plan of restore rather than just buy and replace everything, I'm gonna continue to work on trying to restore these and make them look good. And I think I can do it, but for now, it's just get it out of the way. Okay, those are the little caps, little screws there. And here we go. All right, next thing I'm going to try and get off is this trim piece on the side here where the recliner is. So I see a screw here, I see a screw here, I see an access panel here. So we'll take that off and we'll see how this is held in place. All right, so that screw out, that screw out. This is not actually a panel that removes, that's just molded in, I guess, I don't know, decorative. Anyway, there's a push pin here. If you get your little trim removal tool under that, you can pop that up, release that, and then this trim panel will come away. All right, so what I'm going to try and do next is separate the back from the cushion, take the recliner system off, and then I can work on each part separately. And I think on the inboard side of the seat here, this is just a free pivot. I don't think there's anything there except it's a screw-in pin, I suspect. Appears to be a 17mm socket. So Okay, so that's the pin that comes out that pivots around on the free pivot side. So on the outboard side, so this is where the actual recliner mechanism is. And again, this is the passenger seat, so this is mechanical. The driver's seat will have motors and stuff, I suspect. But anyway, this is the recliner system, goes up here, this black part. So it bolts to the back frame, 2 places there, and then it bolts to the cushion pan or the bottom, or seat squab, depending what country you live in. Should be these 2 here, and then this should lift away and go with the back. These are 14 mil socket for these 2, so we'll take these 2 off and see if we actually do separate the back from the cushion. Okay, I probably should also point out that I am 100% winging it here on the order of removing this. I'm just going by what I think is somewhat of common sense and my knowledge of seats from a career in auto parts. So I have no manual. My little shop manual doesn't show me anything about this, so sort of making up it as I go. We have separation. Okay, so I'm going to start tackling the seat back here. Pick one. This is what I picked. And I'm looking at the side bolsters. They're very clearly separate pieces. You can put your finger right through here. So the upholstery is in no way attached to the main back. And it looks like there's 2 screws here, or nuts rather, here on studs. And it looks like I'm thinking if I take those out, this will effectively lift this entire side bolster off. The only place it'll be held is with a hog ring here, where they pull it over and then clamp it down so it doesn't open up. On the bottom, it looks like it just flaps over onto itself and gets clipped here. So I'm going to try and take these 2 out and see if this is removable. Okay, 10 mil socket. Let's see if we can get this off. And okay, so got both the side bolsters off here. So this is what you're left with. Looks a lot skinnier than without the side bolsters on. I've taken the recliner off, just 14 mil socket, popped those off and just got it out of the way. So this is one piece left here. So I'm going to start to work on the back and start undoing hog rings and try and peel it off. I'm going to start on the bottom here. There's 3 of the little hog rings holding this flap up to a little rod across here. So we'll undo those, and this should flap down then. Okay, so I got the 3 hog rings, and that's what they look like when they're opened up. So cut that one off. That one's just hanging there. That one's loose there. So this now pulls down, and then this, I might have had some glue on it at some point. Cover that flap there, but all right, so what I'll do now is there's 3 more on each side here, this as it wraps around, that go to the springs. So we'll get those off. All right, so I've got all those clips off now. The part that wraps around is all free here. So I'm thinking this should peel off. Okay, so there are rods going across here that pull the seams in that create that pillow effect. So we'll have to try and release those without damaging the foam. That's those 3 rods released. Look down here, you can see where the hog rings clip in here, 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 here. And then there's a wire rod that runs through in these 3 places that I'll have to take out, put in the new one. So I guess we'll just work on getting the cover off the back now, the top part of the back now. So there should be these 4 hog rings across here. Alright, so I've got all the clips off the back here now, so this is loose. So I'm going to try and peel this up and back and expose these headrest tubes. Okay, so I got one of the headrest tubes released. There we go. So they're designed to obviously just push in either assembly and then they snap out. And there are 2 metal tubes welded in here. And this goes just past that tube and then snaps out. So, okay, so there's the end of the tube. So you've just got to go in with some, I use needle nose pliers, squeeze both ends, and then push just down enough that it gets in just past the tube, and then it will just slide out. So that's what it looks like when you get both of these off and the cover slipped off there. So this is actually ready to slide a new cover on now. I'll probably I'm going to take one of these apart at a time, I think, and use the other as a reference for how to put it back together and tuck things in. I've got all the hog rings released on this one now. Like everything else, it should, in theory, peel off. There we go. Alright, so carrying on with the passenger side seats, I've got the seat cushion, or the seat base. Here now we're going to get it apart. I was going to start to put the new leather on the back, but I'm waiting for my hog rings and hog ring wrench to be delivered, so I can hopefully do that without damaging anything. So I figured in the meantime I'll get this apart. I'm going to start getting the track off first. You need a 14mm socket, and there are 2 bolts on each side. Let's see now, the outboard side, there's one right here, and there's one more under here, so you have to move the track. On the inboard side here, there's one here, and there's one here that goes in this way. And again, you have to move the track to access them. So there's the second one. Okay. We won't align that again until it goes back on. It should be. It's got some The wire, okay, that's seatbelt wires. I'm gonna get off. Let's clip a zip tie here. Okay. All right, not sure exactly what this is. There's a plate with a hole here. Nothing there. But it's got to come off to get the cover off, so. Okay, so we have the hog rings that go down to this, move that out of the way, this bar here. We've got 2 on each side that wrap this side here, and then we've got, there's like 3 across the back that wrap the back down to the springs here. So we'll get all those off, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to find the same ones that's attached through the foam on the top side. I have all the hog rings out underneath now. I just flipped it back over and I see we have 2 like push pins by the looks of it here, so I'm gonna dug out a trim tool here and we'll pop those off. And all right, got the very tired cover off. All the sort of little, oh, I don't know what you'd call them, retainer hoops that are sewn in here that the rods sit in, that sort of pull all the corners and that down. It all sort of rotted away, so it's left all the steel rods in the foam. It made it easier getting this off. So there's the foam, and I mean, she ain't pretty, but it's there. So you can see the rods are all sitting here still. Okay, so got all the rods out. These 2 going down here, I believe seem to attach to rods in the foam, so they're not specifically attached to the seat frame. These 2 back here they go to the springs. I've marked them. So I've taken the rods out, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 1, 2, 3 dots there. I don't think it makes any difference, but I marked them anyway. And so now I'm going to do is get rid of this horsehair stuff, which, you know, was great in the day, but it's 40 years old and it's disgusting now. And I believe it's there to protect the foam, so the foam doesn't sit directly onto the springs, because then it would just cut through and break the foam down. So this is a protective layer, I believe. So I'm going to have to put something else on there. I'm certainly not shopping around for more horsehair. I'm going to put something else on there that'll protect the springs. So I'll get this off and bin it. I am wearing a mask because this is disgusting. And we'll clean this up, clean up the frame, give it a coat of paint, even though it didn't come from the factory with any. And once I get a cover back on there, I can put the foam back on, and we'll be ready to start the upholstery process as soon as my hog rings show up. Seat cushion frames all done here. Got rid of all the horsehair, given it a quick lick of paint. So we've got everything disassembled now, and we're all ready to start putting things back together. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a second video, which will creatively probably be called part 2, where I'm going to put the leather on, which will be quite an involved process, and get the seat reassembled. And because this is so involved, and because the driver's seat is a fair bit different with all its power stuff, there will probably even be a part 3. So with that earth-shattering information of the sequels coming, I thank you very much for watching. I hope the video is helpful if you're tackling the seats in your 300ZX, your Z31, and hope I see you back here in the garage. We carry on, get these seats together, and I'm hoping they look like new when they're done. Drive safe, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you back here in the garage.